Hello, good afternoon, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're in Silverstone and we are in the Inferno versus Divine qualifications where 10 drivers will go through to the main event next week, Thursday, to face 10 drivers from the Divine group. Now we have 19 drivers in. We have one more driver remaining to join. Um, I believe that is Switcheroo, Neo. Some of you may know him, so I will just invite him now and he should be in the lobby soon. So, what we've done is combine both divisions, some of our top drivers. Thank you for all of you who are watching us. And our top drivers goes as follows. I'll switch over to the driver screen. So we have a new driver, but a regular driver to these folks. One of our retired esports legend, ORT Geo, who's driving the Red Bull with original M. In the Ferrari, we have the Ferrari boys from Blaze, Exotic F1, Mr. Mancan. The Mercedes duo of Wingish and Wikuli, some of our legends here. Then in the Alpine, we have the one and only Phantom paired with ADHD Luke. The McLaren, we have the Blaze Inferno champion, Alex with Elizabeth. In the Alfa Romeo, we have Haaland, who's also known as Marv, paired with Gogo. In the Aston Martin, we have the Steps F1 with one and only yours truly. You all know and you all love him, Switcheroo, Haas, Curry, and Rob. In the AlphaTauri, we have ADHD Leon and ADHD Ferry. And finally, in the Williams Racing Team, we have Mikesa and the Inferno champion and the F124 tournament winner, Shortbread. So, no need to say that we have a very, very, very stacked grid today. Um, we'll be kicking off in just 1 minute. Just let everyone get settled. We'll be doing a short quali paired with a 35% race, so just 18 laps. But it'll be 18 laps of roaring engines ready to go. Some of our drivers are getting ready, so the lobby will be starting shortly. I'll just send a message out for drivers to get ready. And here we go. We are just a few moments away from starting. 20 drivers on the grid, all in. This battle for pole position will be incredible of who will get it. It could be Mr. Mancan, it could be Gio or Alex, who's known for so many poles in the Blaze division, but Shortbread, who's the Inferno champion, could come out and clutch. Mike's up. I think he placed it on pole in the Inferno division when we did it a few weeks ago when I was racing. Wingish is also in the chat. Didn't shed much light on him, but he's really one to look out for today. The Steps F1, again, Meister in these conditions in Silverstone. But today, will it be rain or will it be sunshine? And it is indeed sunshine. As you can see, 20 drivers out. I'll place the detailed grid up. Lap data run, full map out, and we have original M already out on the intermediate tires. Phantom in his trademark medium tire first run, and Marvinovic, as you know, he loves to go out first before anyone else. Put a time on the board, get it all set and ready. and just establish a feel of the car. He wants to always go out first, assert his dominance, but this field, as you know, is jam-packed. The time that we're looking for now, drivers are putting up in TT, that's time trial, a 1 minute 24.6, 1 minute 24.7. Now, when you apply that to short qualifying in actual qualifying scenarios where the tire degrades, we're looking for a low 1 minute 25.2, 1 minute 25.3, even a 1 minute 25.1. So those are the quali times you are looking out for. But in the comment section, please have a look at the drivers on your left hand side and let me know, who do you have to win this? Who do you have to go P1, 2 and 3? Wild suggestions, let us know. The first driver that will be starting their lap will be Haaland, aka known as Marvinovic or Marv. We have Phantoms on his medium tires, just going around trying to heat them. What I'll do, I'll take the tire graphic off so you can see a clear view of his lap. As he'll be doing now is just turning on his ERS, heating his tires, holding the brake and holding the accelerator at the same time. Coming out of the section, trying not to slide the car, getting the longest run you can, and then on to the Hamilton straight, where he'll come through, hitting that apex on the inside, carrying the car. He has a car coming out of the pits, and he wants to hook that apex, careful not to hit the sausage curb, and hook another apex, riding the apex on the outside, careful not to spin the wheels or get too much dragged onto the AstroTurf, keeping the car to the left hand side away from the Marvels. Purple in sector 1, he wants to hook the car in, careful not to do it too much where you get over steer. Then he wants to coax the car around that corner. That corner is notorious for, if you apply too much throttle, the back end can just kick out and get away from you. Then he wants to keep it over to the left hand side, foot flat down, all the way down, back down to 7th gear, and then keep it flat to the ground, not losing any speed through that. Now through Maggots and Beckett's left and the right sections, then hook it onto the final right, where he will straighten up for the main straight down to Cops. And he will have a tow from a car ahead, and obviously he goes purple through that sector. Left, try not to lose the back end. He hooks that in perfectly, not invalidating the uptime. Keep it far to the left, and into the final chicane he goes. He has a car directly in front of him. That will not be good for the downforce, and he puts in a 125.2, an immaculate first benchmark. Next on track, I believe it's a Haas that's starting their lap at the moment. Mike's puts in a 125.7, and we have the Wingish with a 125.1. Now, at the beginning of this, I told you that a 125.1 is possible, and Wingish has beaten me to it and put it straight there. Next, we have Exotic with a 125.8, and the Steps F1 with a 130.5. I believe that's an intermediate run. Moikuli puts a 125.7, and we have I believe we'll go on board with an Alpine or an AlphaTauri. We'll do ADHD Leon at the moment in the AlphaTauri, Red Bull, Visa, Cash App, Toro Rosso, whatever you want to call them. And let's see how he does. An incredibly fast driver in this league as well. He took that immaculately well. Careful not to run too wide to invalidate your lap time. Maggots and Beckett's perfect through those apexes, barely kissing it, letting the car run wide, keeping the maximum speed through that section. The Gogo puts in a P3 time for 125.5, joining his teammate Marv. We'll have a look at ADHD Leon and see how he does, keeping the car pinned to the left hand side and then bringing it through those apexes. Oh, careful, he had a bit of a wheel spin there, and it puts in a 125.8. Slightly a bit slower. Most runs are coming to an end. We'll go on board with Original M and see what he can produce. He slightly missed that apex there, but down the Beckett straight. To your left hand side, purple in that sector. Wow. So missing an apex does make you go faster. We have ESPO Alex that puts in a 125.3. Wow, tight, very, very tight at the top there. Let's see what Original M can pull through. What can he do? And just beneath Gogo is Mr. Manken for 125.5. The 125.5 gang is really, really tight. Elizabeth puts in a 125.6. We have ADHD Ferry put in a 126.1. Original M coming through. An Original M on the left hand side. Bumps over the curb a little bit harsh there. That will lose you time. And let's see how much time he's lost compared to the others. 125.9, which was a great benchmark time. We're on board now with Switcheroo on the medium tires. And he's going down through Maggots and Beckett's, riding the curb a bit too much. Now he goes out. That lap time will not be great. As you can see there, slight frustration. Thank you so much, Shortbread, for letting me know that. I believe I've changed it, but sometimes Twitch does not update the titles. This is just for clarification, the Silverstone Divine versus Inferno League qualifications, where the top 10 drivers will be going through to face the top 10 drivers from the Divine League. We'll be taking in two reserve drivers, so that is P11 and P12, who finish in this race. So drivers will be competing for that top 10 position. And Switcheroo puts in a 127.2, but I believe that was a kind of a scrappy lap on medium tires. Rob is on his out lap at the moment, and Curry is doing some track excavation. Not sure what happened there, but he's invalidated his lap time now. And it's all calmed down now. So at the front, we have Wingish, followed by Marv. Wingish, who's currently on his out lap now. I'll take you through that at the moment. And here we go. We'll just ride on board with him through this camera footage. Through this section, you barely want to lift the car. You want to chop the car in, and not even a lift in sight. Hook it onto the left hand side and then bring it around. Let's see if he can get purple within the first sector. He does have traffic cars on their outlaps as well. He goes 3,000 up on his personal best, so slight improvement in that. That shows how much he took out in the first run. Now, that car is the AlphaTauri. I believe that's gotten out of his way. Not a lift in sight in 8th gear. Keep it to the right hand side, and through Maggots and Beckett's, kissing curbs not to ride the bumps too much, and kiss the final one slightly wide, but he gets a nice run, and he gets a lovely slipstream from the car of the Alfa Romeo in front. The number 30 of Wingish going through the final sector. Let's see if he can improve upon his time, which was in a great time. And he comes across the line with a 700th improvement. But Marvinovic has gone faster for 125.070. Incredible stuff. Alex is currently on a lap at the moment and will go on board with ESPL Alex, champion of Blaze Division. Have extreme competition right now. Can he do the same in Blaze as he did? Can he do the same now as he did in Blaze? To see ORTGO puts in a 125.5. He's currently on his outlap at the moment. Shortbread in P9, 125.6. A lot to improve on there. At the moment, right now, we're riding on board with Alex as he goes through maggots and baggots. Bit bumpy on that side. He rides the curbs very aggressively. You can see how these drivers attacks these curbs, and the result of that, he's invalidated his second run on that in that time. At the moment, right now, the Go-Go has put in a purple second sector, and the Go-Go is currently improving handover fish from his 125.5. Careful not to invalidate or to run wide or to lose the back end, and pin to the right hand side, then the right again, feather the throttle, foot down, and he improves, and he goes P4. ADHD Luke is currently donning the Alpine. Where can he put it? Elizabeth is coming up to the line, and I believe Elizabeth has... Sorry, that is Luke, but we'll stay on board with Elizabeth. She's currently not improving. She's currently down by 0.08 of a second. So while that may seem like a little bit, if she does improve by that amount, it will rocket her up the grid, because the gaps in this league is so tight. Oh, she ran over those curbs, bumped them. That would not be good. So she'll be looking to get a second run in. We'll go back on board with ADHD Luke, and he's invalidated his run. We're on board right now with the steps. Original M, and Original M is just up by 1,000th of a second. Now he's up again by 5,000th of a second. So he will need to improve. And as you've seen in the previous run that we were on board with him, he didn't have the best final sector, so he'll be finding majority of his time there, as long as he doesn't clatter these curves, and he pins it to the left, nice, pins it to the right, nice, hugs the inside, and across the line he goes with a 8,000th improvement. I guess there is more in that lap time, but we'll go on board with Phantom, who's improved by nearly 0.5 of a second. That's what we're talking about. This is the Phantom that we know, on low fuel, keeping that car to the right hand side, hitting that sausage curb a little bit too hard on settling the car. And where will he put this? He will put it in a P13 with a 125.7. On board now, we're with Switcheroo as he goes through Maggots and Beckett's, where he invalidated last time. And he is at 800th improvement, nearly a second, but he will need a lot more than that to be competitive with the top guys, or else he'll remain in the same position that he's in. A bit shifty through that section, and he's invalidated, and he's going to pit directly into the pits. Ladies and gentlemen, it is crunch time at the moment. Or as some F1 commentators would call it, the banzai hour. The time where it's all or nothing. The gaps are incredibly close. We have Marv, Wingish, Alex, the Go-Go, ORTGO, Moikuli, Ferry, Mr. Mancan, ADHD Luke, Shortbread, Elizabeth, The Steps, Phantom, Miteser, Rob. Miteser, who's known for putting it in pole position, is currently in P14. Leon in P16 needs a better lap. Definitely needs a much better lap. We have 2 minutes to go on the counter. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. I believe that is qualifying over for Phantom. He will not have enough time to come around and put on a new set of tires, as we see drivers departing again to go out again on their qualifying runs. Let's see if Phantom can improve from P13 during the race, or if someone else can out qualify him at the moment. I believe more Curry has not set a lap time as yet. Switcheroo desperately needs to find a major 2-second improvement to be competitive with the top guys. And the first driver to begin their qualifying run, I believe it's Mr. Mancan. We'll go on board with Mr. Mancan as he starts the final run. He goes wide to get the maximum speed down the Hamilton straight. And here he goes past the grandstand. Sea of Tifosis waving to him as the number 15 cars throw it into the right hand side, pin it onto the left hand side through the apex, down into 5th gear, down into 4th gear, hugging the inside curb, throwing it around, careful not to over rotate, slow on the power, hard as he goes around. And let's see if he can claim the first purple sector of the final qualifying shootout. And he goes 400 up. Great improvement there. This currently will put him in P4 position if he hangs on to that advantage. Incredible stuff. Through Magnussen Beckett's left, right, ride the curbs and ride the chicane. And here he goes, perfect entry and exit through Magnussen Beckett's, and he goes purple with a 4/10 improvement. This will put him near P1 and P2 if he can hang it on through the final sectors. And this final sector looks absolutely incredible. Where will he put it? And he goes P1, Mr. Mancan. P1. Drivers coming up behind him. Where is Marv going to place it? Marvinovic, Mike's puts it P7, and Marvinovic is coming up. And Marv puts it P1 for 124.8. Wow. We're now on board with Wingish, who has a 10th improvement. Wingish will need to find another 10th in this final sector to be competitive. Incredible stuff. Rob goes P11. Curry goes P16. And now we're on board with Wingish. ORT is retired from the session. And Wingish goes P1. No, Wingish goes P2. Incredible stuff. ADHD Ferry goes P4. The Steps goes P7. Phantom P15 has been relegated to ADHD Leon. Couldn't get a good lap in. P18. Incredible stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We're on board with the Gogo. Where can the Gogo place it? The Gogo is invalidated. Wow. And Elizabeth, can Elizabeth find more time? And she doesn't. She goes P4. Oh my gosh, the Steps P8, and Mr. Mancan has shocked the world today by putting it P1. No, apologies. Marvinovic, P1, Wingish P2, Mr. Mancan snatched away. Paul got snatched away from Mr. Mancan in P3. Elizabeth P4. Incredible stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, incredible stuff. Wow. Alex P6. Competition is very, very high in this league. It's not as easy as it was in Blaze. Moikuli P7. The Steps P8. Gogo P9. P10 Original M. ADHD Luke. ORT P12. Mike's P13. P14 for Exotic F1. Switcheroo couldn't get a lap in P20. Guys, this is absolutely incredible. The top fight between Marv, Wingish, Mr. Mancan, Elizabeth will be something to behold. The gap that separates Highland and Wingish should be respected. Because that gap is of pure skill, pure talent, much respect to these drivers. It will be a clear, sunny, shiny day today. Hopefully, there's no safety cars. Drivers, please be careful into turn one, into the deep braking sections, and ensure that we have a very, very clean lap. Strategies, what will you do? Will you go on the mediums, go long, then come back through the field on the softs? Will you start on the softs, box early, come on the mediums? One strategy, the latter that I just mentioned, going on the softs, you have the potential of undercutting the field. But if you go on the mediums, you will be undercutted by the medium runners that have now, by the soft runners that are pitted. However, you have fresher soft tires to come back through the field with to perform the overtake. And Silverstone is a very powerful track for DRS, for saving ERS, and you can be strategic with your overtakes. But in saying that, it is a high speed track, which means it takes a lot out of your tires and saps that energy, saps that life out of it. So you want to be as strategic as you can. You can take the soft tires in this circuit to lap 7, lap 9. Do remember it's 18 laps. So you may want to feel right, but nevertheless, having said that, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and lights out, and away we go. Let's look at the entry that Marv gets. He gets a great one, but Wingage gets an even better start, and Wingage goes up the inside of Marvinovic, and Wingage sends Marv, and Wingage is trying to take it, and someone's around at the back. Who's around? It's Switcheroo's around at the back. Everyone else is through safely. Haaland and Wingage is going head to head. Slight snap for the Red Bull driver of Original M. ORT's directly behind him, and we have Switcheroo at the back. Let's pull up the tire graphic to see what the tire graphic is. Wingage takes the lead from Marv. Alex gets past Ferry. Elizabeth is in P4, and we have drivers just going head to head, and there's a spinner of Exotic F1. That is not ideal from him, and 2 spinners that we have, Switcheroo and Exotic F1. Next up, we'll just do the tire graphic now, and we can see that Haaland is taking back the lead, or Marv, and Wingage is in pursuit on his soft tires. Alex has his teammate ahead of him. I say teammate, it's not really a team game, and we have the Go-Go going up the inside of Ferry, trying to take that 7th position from ADHD Ferry, but will Ferry have it? Ferry sticks it up the inside, retains position. Original M goes past ADHD Luke, and Original M is now in that top 9 position, top 10 position. Can he hold position? Is the medium tire the tire to go on? And as we can see, there is an Alpine of ADHD Luke lurking behind Original M, waiting to get that position back. But down the inside goes Marzak, and Marzak sends it up the inside of Switcheroo, and Switcheroo, sorry, the steps F1, probably not pleased about that, but around the inside ORT Geo on Marzak, and Marzak is fighting for the position because he's just on the brink of qualification. Very, very interesting stuff ahead. We've switched to the battle up ahead. It's a DRS train all the way from P1 all the way down to P18. Incredible stuff. And now Switcheroo and Exotic F1 is having a battle of their own, but down we have Phantom and Rob, Phantom and Curry fighting it out. We'll look ahead and we can see Wingish now going for the move on Haaland. No, he's not. Wingish will stick behind him. I believe this is the time to utilize the soft. This is playing in the advantage of the medium tire runners if he stays behind him. Mr. Mancan is in P3, retains that position. Alex gets past his teammate, and now Alex is riding the bumper, riding the rear wing of Mr. Mancan. Alex gets past his teammate off Elizabeth, and he puts in the fastest lap of this session. Everyone is in DRS range of everyone else. The Steps F1 is being hunted by ORTGO. Incredible stuff. ORTGO forces his way past the Steps, and so does Marzak. I'm not sure the Steps will be pleased about that. Shortbread on the back of the Steps. Shortbread looking to capitalize on this, and these drivers are fighting tooth and nail for these final position points. Guys, incredible stuff. Original M on the back of it, and as we can see here, Alex is riding the rear wing of Mankan. I'll place on the telemetry details so you can see the ERS usage, and his ERS and DRS is on, and he wants to get the overtake to put himself into provisional P3, but he backs out of it. Wingish takes the lead of this Grand Prix, and Wingish is on the lead, but Marv is not making it easy for him, and Wingish takes the Grand Prix and he's leading it. Marv clatters that curb and clatters that sausage curb. Not a great thing. Original M is on the brink of losing DRS from ADHD Leon, and there is a collision. There is a collision. Phantom is at the back, and he's come a cropper off this race. I believe he's lost his front wing, and safety car is on reducer. It probably will not be called out for this. His front wing is still intact. Up ahead, we can see Marv is on the back of Haaland. Wow, look at that scene of all drivers from P1 to P17 in a DRS format. Incredible stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Original M needs to let ORTGO pass if he wants to keep that DRS train going, and I think he does. He does indeed. He does let him through because he's the faster driver. Because if you battle, it's a smart thing to do. It may seem like he's conceding position, but it's a smart thing to do to be able to keep that DRS. And now he has it, and also ORT up ahead will have that DRS to ADHD Luke. And up ahead we can see Alex has finally made that move on Mr. Mankan. Mr. Mankan's not fighting it too much as he has 76% battery while Alex has 30%. And we have Wingish that does not want to fight, showing his frustration of Marv. Wingish says, let's work together, let's try to pull away from these guys because it's a DRS train, no one can move. And I want to utilize my soft tires, but Marv is not having it, is not letting him get away. But that is the strategic move and the correct strategic move from the medium tire runners. You do not want the soft tires to get an advantage over you. And as we can see, Original M has actually dropped out of that DRS range to ORTGO. And will he be using his DRS? Yes, he will, to close back up that gap advantage, because these guys are incredibly quick. You do not want to be attacked. And as you can see, Mike is pounding on the back of Original M, and Original M really desperately needs to get back in the DRS range of ORTGO. Up ahead, Moikuli just having a nice and cool race. Nothing really happening with Moikuli, Ferry, and the Go-Go. Just chilled and confirmed. But ADHD Luke is riding the bumper of the Go-Go. The Go-Go is barely holding on to P8, where ADHD Luke is right there with him on his soft tires. Gio on his medium tires is closing down. Original M has managed to get back in the DRS, but will he have that DRS flap open? No, he won't, and he's flashing. And Mike's is seen that has blood in the water, and the Steps F1 goes outside of Mike's. And can the Steps F1 get Original M as well? No, he can't. And he just, a snap there from Mike's. Original M is in a no man's land. And we have our first pitter of ADHD Leon trying to do an undercut on the guys ahead. Switcheroo comes in as well. This is smart work from ADHD Leon. He'll have the freshest tires on the grid to try to launch himself up into that top 10 position. We have a retiree of Switcheroo in the pit lane. Up ahead we have Gogo versus Gio. Gio is trying to attack Gogo, and Gogo is just right there with him, hanging on. ADHD Luke. Gio has gone around ADHD Luke, so those soft tires are not working whatsoever. It is time to box. Incredible stuff, ladies and gentlemen, as we see Original M is back into the DRS range of ADHD Luke. And I don't know where to look right now. I think there's so many things happening in every single part of the track, and um, it's just a lot that's happening right now. But my main focus right now, Shortbread gets past his teammate or provisional teammate on the grid of them. But we have divers. We have a few pictures of Mikeser and Rob. Rob and Mikeser followed the strategy of ADHD Leon. We'll go on board with ADHD Leon and see where he comes out. He's coming into Cops Corner at the moment, at Stoke Corner, at the moment, down the Wellington Straight. And he's coming on to the back of the Hamilton, or the beginning of the Hamilton Straight, past the pit entry, into the left and right chicane of the final corner. And he will successfully undercut these guys who were his competitors and fighting with them, and they will be on the pit exit. As you see, there he goes. And Leon is through. Not by much though, but if he keeps his pace up and utilizes the ERS, he will get through everyone. And these two are just swapping places. Harlan, Wingish, Alex, Mr. Mancan. Going at it. Who will be the first to blink? At the moment, Wingish will need to pit. If Wingish pits now, will force Marv to go longer. Marv has to go longer. When will he come in? I'll say around lap 10, lap 11 will be the perfect time to come in. Probably around lap 10. Then you'll see here, Wingish has P1, Marv P2, and then Mr. Mancan, Elizabeth, and Moikuli are in the pits. All the soft brothers are pitting. Wingish is staying out, which means he will be undercutted by these guys up ahead. These guys are behind. We'll go on board now with ADHD Leon and see where he comes out now. On his 1 lap old medium tires, who he went for the audacious move to undercut these guys up ahead. This is esports stuff, ladies and gentlemen. This right here, what we're seeing right now, this is esports strategy. When the strategy ain't going well, you do a Yana Otmir, you do a Thomas Runha, and you go. And he puts in the fastest lap of the race. And look at him coming out ahead of these guys. And there he goes. He can see them in their eyes. They will have cold tires. Remember, Moikuli was in P7. So now, ADHD Leon is on provisional, I'll say, yeah, P7, P8, P9, around that region there. He's thrusted himself into that fighting spot, but the difficulty now, he will have alien tires. Up ahead now, we can see Shortbread right in the back of the Steps F1, who they have lost the DRS to the cars ahead. So that's incredible stuff. Because all those cars is pitted, it's released a massive gap where Shortbread desperately needs to get past the steps and to keep moving up the order, but they have the same pace. They can't pit. But look who's in the pit right now. It is Wingish. Wingish is currently in the pit lane at the moment. So is Curry. What we'll do on board, we'll go on board with ADHD Leon, who's in the pits at the moment. Who's in the trenches, who's trying to drag his AlphaTauri to a top 10 position to get through the qualifying rounds. I will see where he comes out. Ahead of them, we can see Mr. Mancan and Elizabeth, who's on a perfect pit entry. And if they go, Elizabeth will be the provisional leader of this race. Mr. Mancan P2, and Elizabeth puts in the purple final sector. Let's see where they go now. Wingish is on pit exit, and there goes Wingish, and there goes ADHD Leon. ADHD Leon is right behind Wingish, so now ADHD Leon is P4 on track. Incredible stuff. Genius strategy by him. Now, can he hold on onto those old hard tires? Now, how it works now, ladies and gentlemen, if it's a 35% race, the tire wear is multiplied by that amount. So if it's a long race, it will be, a lot longer to get to, let's say 50%. But if it's a very short race, each lap will increase that tire wear dramatically, 5% a lap. So ADHD Leon will need to look out for that. Up ahead, we can see the steps have gotten back past Shortbread, and they need to go. But ahead, Harlan, Marv, Alex does not want to be undercut too much. So they have pitted at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, this is incredible. They'll be going onto the soft compound tires. So even if they are undercutted, they will have the tire to get past them. And the first up on their list will probably be ADHD Leon. As they come through, ladies and gentlemen, as you see, Mr. Mancan leads this train. He overtook Elizabeth. Wingish is directly behind on his fresh medium tires, and on pit exit, as we can see right now, Halan comes out, but ADHD Leon is being currently pressed and attacked by Moikuli and Alex, and Alex does not need Moikuli in front of him right now. Alex needs to get rid of Moikuli, and so he's going on the attack on his soft tires, and there he goes down the inside, through the Wellington Straight. Through he goes, and there's a collision. Oh my lord, there is a collision of Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is round. I am not too sure what has happened there. Elizabeth and Wingish are round. Wow, incredible stuff. A 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags for Rob and Original M. Not too sure what's happened here, but up ahead, the steps and shortbread has pitted. ORT Gio has gone long, and he's going to do what I have said and pit in late to try to get that. Wingish has gotten a penalty as well, and round the outside goes Original M on Rob. It is not over yet. I believe Wingish does, he's coming into the pits. I believe he probably will be retiring. I am not too sure what has happened there. And he has retired from the session. Quite heartbreaking there from Wingish to see him go out like that. There probably will be an investigation after the race and see what exactly occurred. Up ahead, we can see the cars off. I believe Phantom, who's not stopped as yet, he just carry on going. Haaland with a 1.1 second gap over Mr. Mancan. Alex, who's riding the tail of Mr. Mancan, trying to get past him. ADHD Leon with the Master Genius strategy. Moikuli in 7th place. Mikeser in 8th. ADHD Ferry in 9th. ORT Gio has pitted. ADHD Luke, the ADHD boys are cooking today. Gio, who qualified so well, is in 11th place at the moment. He will desperately want to fight back to get up. Heartbreak, I say, for Elizabeth. Elizabeth was doing incredibly well this race, qualifying P4, putting her McLaren up, doing amazing stuff, but I believe there was a collision. So there may be an investigation launched as to why that happened, but special shout out to Elizabeth today, who did an incredible job against these esports level drivers. Up ahead, we can see ORT has now pitted and he's now back out on track, and will be attacking, trying to get into that top 10. He was incredibly aggressive, and as you can see, Rob is splashing. He has 30% ERS, DRS, and Rob also has ERS. How aggressive will Rob fight it? Not that aggressive actually, because Rob has a penalty to hand, and through goes ORT on the Wellington Straight, and he'll be attacking the next Red Bull of Original M, who's just 9/10 up the road. Up ahead, we can see Alex has gotten past Mr. Mancan, and Alex is breathing down the inside of Phantom, who's on old hard tires, who's just driving for fun at the moment. Almost crashed into the back of him. Don't have any ERS to spare, while up ahead Haaland doesn't either. He has 11% as well. So it's 9.8 second the gap between Alex versus Marv. Original M versus the Go-Go now. Original M has gotten past the Go-Go. ORT desperately wants a slight tap in the back from ORT to the Go-Go. He makes the switch back, going up the inside of the Hamilton straight, and through goes ORT Gio, similar to Lewis Hamilton in 2022 in the Mercedes. Next, his teammate Will he send it? Yes, he will. He'll just let him through. And on those first set of tires, I believe ORT owes Original M a drink or two today. They've been working well together. 1.7 seconds the gap is now between ORT and ADHD Luke. I believe Original M just let him through, so he's a faster car, don't want to hold him up, and wants to get that DRS effect to pull him along, and to stay within that top 10 as well, because remember, Geo is, and Shortbread is right behind him, and Shortbread is on the very, very back of Go-Go. Down to 7th gear, having as much speed as possible, probably have to back out through Maggots and Beckett's, and look how close Shortbread is in that Williams. You can see him right in the back of the Go-Go. Look at how much more speed he has. And there he goes. Incredible stuff. Shortbread goes around the outside. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. He goes now down the inside of the Go-Go. And there he goes, and through goes Shortbread. The steps is looking to line him up to follow him as well. And Original Emma's lost that 1 second gap to ORT. And that gap is slowly coming down between Marv and Haaland. And Elizabeth has retired within the pit lane. GG's to Elizabeth. Really, really, really well done today. Incredible stuff. I cannot sing her praises high enough of how much of an incredible job that she's done today. But Shortbread now is through past Original M, who's on 6-lap old tires. Now we have ADHD Luke and ADHD Ferry. ADHD Leon is up ahead. Let's see how far Gio and those guys can come. Remember, these guys pitted on 8 laps ago, so their tires are really, really old. So ORT should really be blowing through this field, and as I said it, there he goes on the back of ADHD Luke. The first, is it the first ADHD to fall? You can see ORT pushing him around through Maggots and Beckett, and who does that? And as you can see, ORT through 30% ERS. DRS open, and he is through, but Luke is fighting back in his Alpine. And ORT hangs it around the outside, and through he goes into P8. Next on the list is ADHD Ferry. And past Ferry he goes. I didn't even see that move. That was so quick. ORT is past Ferry. Next up on the list is ORT versus Mikesa. And will he go for an audacious switchback? I thought he was going to go down the inside onto the Wellington straight, but he didn't. That Red Bull is so dirty at the moment because he's been in the trenches today. And he's trying to pull out a stellar result. 1.4 second the gap is to Alex versus Marv up at the front. Mr. Mancan has been dropped by 3.5 seconds. Given the fact of they've pitted later, better tires, and probably slightly faster. But that's not to say that Mr. Mancan is hanging on to this P3 position with an ironclad. But behind him is Shortbread, who just got past ADHD Luke, and ADHD Luke is struggling because the next up on the list is the Steps F1, who desperately wants to get into this final 10. And thank you, Wingish, for joining back. Wingish, my guy. And around the outside is the Steps. Such a cheeky maneuver. The Steps is trying. So many battles going on, mate. So many battles. ADHD Luke trying to get past Shortbread. Shortbread said no, slammed the door back on him. The Steps got past Original M. Original M is on the Red Bull right in the back of this. The Go-Go has been dropped completely. 1.3 second the gap advantage. 1.2 now. Alex versus Marv. Who will take it home? Incredible stuff, guys. And we see the ERS usage up ahead. Marv 22%. Alex is on 1%. Phantom has retired from the race due to cannot catch up with the leaders. Up ahead we have Shortbread and Mikesa. ORT Gio is past Mikesa at the moment. incredible stuff. He's gunning for Leon. Leon, who did the master strategy. 2 laps remaining, ladies and gentlemen. He did the master strategy of boxing early to undercut the field. But he has 10 laps on medium and ORT has 4 laps old soft. That means that P4 is likely possible for him, possibly a P3 position. But through past Leon he goes, and Moikuli is up next. Lights flashing and everything. Will Leon fight? No, he won't. Leon has gone slightly wide. Mike's just right in the back of him. And Gio is absolutely cooking today. 1.3 second the gap advantage from Marv to Alex. Down we have Shortbread versus the Steps. Shortbread, can Shortbread get past Luke? The final qualification places. This is the fight to watch. Some of our fastest drivers here. Who will it be? Ferry, Luke, Shortbread, the Steps. Who will be our final qualifying into the final race next week on the 23rd of May? Gents, incredible stuff. Gio is now fully past. I can't believe I'm saying this. He's past Moikuli. He's caught past Moikuli. Gio pitted, came out in P13 and has overtaken driver after driver after driver after driver on his fresh soft tires. This is probably not the strategy I'd have chosen. I'd have probably gone with soft and then medium because I don't trust myself enough to do this much overtaking. But clearly we have a special specimen here. And can Gio catch Mr. Mancan by 2.5 seconds in these final qualifying times, in this final dying moments? We have 1 lap remaining. I believe Marv has done enough to fend off Alex, but down below we have Shortbread, ADHD Luke, and the Steps F1, who's separated by just 5/10, all of them. Incredible stuff. This is some of the best racing I've ever seen in my entire F1 career. And we have the Steps who desperately have 70% ERS, wanting to get past these guys. Shortbread has 40%. Luke and Ferry both has 54 and 44 respectively. Mike's up ahead has 37. So the lowest on this list at the moment is the Steps F1. We probably boxed a little bit too late. Or maybe a little bit too early to have the tire advantage over these guys to get past them so easily. But down we can see Shortbread burning his ERS and DRS to try to get past Luke. We are currently on the final lap of the race. Has Haaland, Marv makes his way around. Shame between him and Wingish. I believe there was a collision between Elizabeth and Wingish, which led to their retirement. Then we can see now the Steps, Shortbread, who will be the final qualifier in this tournament. So far it is Haaland, Alex, Mr. Mancan. Now what is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? Down the final stretch we go. No movement whatsoever. Gio has gotten past Rob to go into P13, and Marvis takes it home into P1, then Alex in P2, Mr. Mancan comes home in P3. Incredible stuff. Gio, great drive. P4, Mokuli P5, Leon P6, Mike's a P7, ADHD Ferry P8, Luke P9, Shortbread P10, the Steps, shame for the Steps F1 in P11, just outside of it. And the Steps, and I believe, I'm not too sure the other driver who will be on reserve. The driver today is definitely ADHD Leon for me, for undercutting the field and performing the undercut of the century. Incredible job, guys. Great drive. Well done. GG's to Marv. GG's to Alex. Incredible stuff, guys. Wow, that is a lot to unpack, and the highlights will be up in a few days, I believe tomorrow or the day after on YouTube, because there's a lot to go through there. Incredible stuff. Shout out to Leon, Shout out to the Gogo, Sorrow for Elizabeth, Sorrow for Phantom, and for Wingish. And I believe, I'm not too sure exactly what happened to Cicero at the very, very beginning, but some really, really, really great drives here today, guys. As you can see on the grid, ORT, he started from P12, finished in P4. Leon started from P19 and finished in P6. Mike's a P13 and finished in P7. Moikuli, an easy race, P5 and P7. ADHD Ferry, P5 and P8. Heartbreak for the Steps, Heartbreak for the Go-Go. Exotic F1, shout out to all these guys. And thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. Shortbread, P16, and just barely made it into the qualifying rounds in P10. So very, 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 very impressive by everyone here today. And thank you all for joining us today. Next week, we'll be in Silverstone again. Next time, it will be a full qualifying session joined by VB Thomas, and it will be 50% race with our top 10 drivers that you saw today. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys all next week. Cheers and have a good week.